So you've watched the last video, you know we're successful. We might just be building one of the best teams ever in Gibraltar. Look how we did. Hi, I'm Matt and welcome to today's video. In this episode, we're going to go over what we did last season, some of the success we brought to the club, some new signings, and how we've potentially set ourselves up for one of, hopefully, the greatest seasons ever. So as you can see, and as you saw the last episode, we did in fact finish top of the Standard League table. As you know, the Standard League table breaks off into 6 clubs away into what is the Championship group, whereby we play each other across 5 games, and guess what? We won that as well. With 6 points clear, which is brilliant. Goal difference is fantastic. Our closest rivals are Magpies. And what I didn't understand is I thought the champions of the Gibraltar League went through to the Conference League qualifiers. In actual fact, we had Champions League qualifiers. Didn't go very well though. We drew Qarabag. Qarabag are a big club in comparison to our minnow club in Man 62, whereby actually in the first leg we gave a really good solid account of ourselves. A hat-trick from God Bless, a goal from one of our debutants, Byron Morton, but we just succumbed to a much better team. We couldn't defend very well. We could score goals clearly, but this two-legged affair didn't go our way, and only just didn't go our way, losing in the 68th minute to a Qarabag winner away from home. But listen, we weren't ready for it. We weren't ready to compete in there. If we'd have got through to the next round, we'd have got battered anyway, I'm sure of it. So that led to something quite interesting. So we then went into the Europa Conference League Champions Path second qualifying round first leg. Wow, that's a mouthful, that, isn't it? Basically, the qualifying rounds to get into the Conference League. We convincingly beat, I want to say Ritterai away from home 3-1. And then in the second leg, as you can see here, we beat them 3-1 again at home. Convincing, really. Quite an easy set of fixtures, if you ask me. So after the games against Ritterai, we drew a team called Skopje, I think that's how you pronounce it. As you can see here, we had a first game against them where we drew 2 each. They equalised in the 93rd minute, which is annoying, especially after we scored late on to try and take the game to them. But in the second leg, we convincingly beat them 3-0 at home. Again, another God Bless hat-trick, which is fantastic to see. We then went into more of a difficult tie against a club called Flora. I've known these, and some people will know us watching this from many years of, Europa League and I think Champions League of age, actually, fixtures over the years. But we got them 0-0 in the first leg, beat them convincingly in the second leg 4-1, and that led us to the next round of the Conference League, which is the Conference League proper. As you can see, though, another God Bless hat-trick. So this guy's on fire. So we're now into the Conference League proper, and as you can see here, they're not in relative. Are they in date order? I think they might be. No, they're not in relative date order. But essentially, we've got games against Sparta Prague, Kiev, Legia, Zurich, Bran, Punic, all to come in the Europa Conference League, which is fantastic. But so far this year, we also sit pretty at the top of the league. 3 games played, 3-1, all 9 points, and a +10 goal difference. Not only have we had a convincing start to the season, both domestically in the league and in Europe, we also won the Pepe Reyes Cup. I would say convincingly against Lincoln, but as you can see, we led the game 29 minutes in, conceded 2 minutes later from this prolific striker in, let's call him Kun, and then it needed God Bless to rescue us right in the 92nd and 93rd minute. In fact, if you look at how many goals this guy scored already this season, yes, up there it'll say in the league 2-1. If you can look down just to the left of my head though here, in 10 games, 10 appearances, he scored 13 goals this year so far. He is on fire. So I suppose, how have we done that? How have we got such a good start into the season? How have we convincingly got through the qualifiers to get into the Conference League proper? Well, this is definitely part of it. We have had an absolutely scandalously good transfer window. So as you can see, we've got some players that left us here. Isaka Dankusu left us. He was a backup goalkeeper. He was our first team goalkeeper at first. We ended up signing some, as I mentioned in the previous videos, people like Tom Wotton, for example, from United, who played much better. When he came in, though, I knew, given his stats, we needed someone much better. So we ended up, as you've already seen before in previous videos, we signed Kinga Masei. He's much better. But unfortunately, the other chap, let's call him Isaka, started to see his arse by not playing, so we ended up getting rid of him. We then decided to loan out some players, 2 youngsters, Erasmo, who came in this season, a young Italian-Brazilian playmaker in midfield, 18 years of age, 4-star potentials. He's out on loan as well. As is David Jack. He played a lot last year, but he wasn't going to get much game time this year. So again, get him out on loan and try and strengthen some clubs around us. Unfortunately, though, he didn't go to a Gibraltar club. He went to a Nigerian club for £1,000 fee, but he's played 4 times so far and played very well by all accounts. Paulo Sergio, a right winger, 4-star potential, Brazilian. Ideally, I would have liked to have loaned him out back into Gibraltar. So I'm going to start doing more of this now. Getting some of these players that I'm signing that are young, youthful, got some potential about them, and getting them into the Gibraltar League to help us, to help the teams around us, really. And lastly, I ended up getting rid of Martin Folkborn. Didn't play a load for us last year. Did a decent enough job. In fact, he's already played more times for his new club this year than he did for us for his entire year last year. But still, good servant. Counted towards, did he count towards homegrown? No, he didn't. But, you know, he was a good player, but we had to get rid. Too old, taking up some wage budget, and he wasn't going to get in the team. Now, the signings. Isaac Mabaya from Liverpool. Fantastic deep line playmaker. He's controlled games since he's been at us. He's had some fantastic form, as you can see down here. So far, I mean, he could be the sign of the season yet so far, to be honest. But again, up there with him is Jace Fitzgerald from United, who is his centre midfield pairing. Who is a ball-winning midfielder. We had to get someone that was better than Chris Pearson, who was here last year. He decides to leave us on a free, far from ideal, so why not go straight for Jace? And Jace and Isaac, and hopefully they're going to run midfield for us for this season. I needed some more depth into the attacking part of the field, because I think, look, whilst they were very good last year, I need to keep getting stronger and stronger. So Byron Morton's coming as an 18-year-old 4-star player, 4-star potential. Again, don't worry about the stars. Look at the stats. Fast winger, good at crossing, can do a bit more dribbling to go. He's got a lot of development there to work on. But essentially, he's a really solid player for us, and he's tall, which is, you know, strange in my league. Malachi Sharp, probably more of a backup to any of these players, really. But, you know, decent acceleration, good at crossing and dribbling, someone that I can throw on in a game where I'm clearly favourite, so to bring on in the last 20 minutes. I'm going to try and hope to develop him, but basically, I just needed that backup that isn't going to whine about game time, but is still going to be good and quick enough to impact games for me. I needed some competition at right back to compete with Odorendi for that spot, and also to help rotate as well. So we've signed fullback Dylan Nealis. He's a bit older, 27 years old. We're paying him quite a bit, but he's been playing relatively well in the games that he's played so far. He's providing great competition. You know, he's good in big matches. His recent form's been good. He's consistent and he's fast. What's not to like about that? Strength in defence has obviously been a key thing for us. You know, I may have not mentioned that, but clearly I needed right back options to help, you know, challenge Odorendi and at least, you know, have a backup for him. I needed some centre back cover, and I also needed a new left back. So first of all, you can see the centre back cover we've got on permanent deal here, which is Ryan Saylor, an American player, 6'4" centre back. You can see he's quite strong. He can jump. His heading, marking, and tackling are good. And he's really good backup for our 2 key centre backs, which, as you already know, you've seen before, our 16-year-old wonder kid Jamie. You've seen plenty of him, so I won't dwell about him. But we did sign Jamie Simpson Pussy, I think he's called, from City. Young lad, 19 years old. Again, tall, strong, relatively fast. He's one of our first centre back pairing with Victor himself. We then went on to sign a left back just as backup to Amino Yusuf. I really struggled to sign left backs in this game. I don't know why. If anyone, you know, comment down below if you find the same struggle. I think left backs are hard to come to in world football. It's clearly showing in this game, but this guy's been decent enough. Played a couple of games, had some good ratings. He's only going to be back up to Amino Yusuf. He's probably going to start to make way for a couple of these youngsters if we can get them in the squad throughout the season. But it was good to get someone in. We needed to get someone in. He was a deadline day signing because I really needed backup just in case Yusuf ever got injured. I'll be in trouble, right? And then lastly, as you'll be able to see on here, you know about Sergio. He's gone on loan already, as has Erasmo. You also know about Malachi Sharp from United. But what I will say is we've signed 2 more players from Manchester United on loan. James Scanlon as a number 10. He's been really solid for us in the games that he's played. I wasn't going to sign him, but then I thought if I get an injury to Mazza, I can send Jack out on loan because he wasn't as good technically as this guy. He's not costing us a penny, so let's get him in. And on top of that, we also got Gabriel Biancheri, a Welsh, I think soon to be national. He keeps being talked about, you know, getting called up for the Welsh side. He can play as a right winger and up front and on the left. He's been okay. Considering his stats here, and how much the media talked him up when I was linked with him at the start of the season when I went into the transfer window. He's not done that much. Let's do a live game, shall we? Let's come back for the home tie against Bran in the Europa Conference League. Okay, so next up, let's show you a couple of games, shall we? We're going to play off our next home game against St. Joseph's in the Football League, an away tie, but you know the score by now, we're at home. So therefore, we're going to play them. You're going to see how strong our team looks against the rest of the league. As you can see, they're in second place at the moment. They've just beaten Lincoln, I believe. So Lincoln, who are normally the guys that are running away with it early doors and continue to catch them, St. Joseph's has taken some points off them early door. Play them next, and then we're going to go into a game against Bran in the Europa Conference League, where we hope for our first 3 points in the Europa Conference League proper. So let's check it out. And first up, we've got St. Joseph's FC of the Gibraltar League, who are currently second in this league after just beating Lincoln. The team to start that game is as follows: Kinder Masai in net, a back four of Oderindi, Simpson Pussy, Victor and Yusuf at left back, a midfield pair of Mabea and Fitzgerald, wide right in Renal Young, and wide left. I've started to play Mather out left actually from a cam position because he's having a lot of impact on that left hand side. Scanlon in the 10 position and Osadebe up top. Now hopefully you'll get to see how well we've developed this team over the summer and the pre-season. It wasn't really a pre-season. I think we played 2 or 3 friendlies max, but the rest of it was bloody qualifiers. This team have really started to cook. The only reason I'm starting Gift Osadebe ahead of God Bless is he's moaned for a bit more game time. So hopefully we can just placate him, make him a little bit happier, start throwing God Bless back in. And then, God Bless has scored 13 goals in our competition so far this year. This is literally our 3rd or 4th league game in. You can tell how good he's been. I think you've seen already in the video, he scored 3 hat-tricks in the pre-season or the qualifiers. So we've got a really strong team, and we're on the attack here from Yusuf on the corner 5 minutes in. Swings it into the box, and Simpson Pussy, is that his name? Whatever. Heads strong past the goalkeeper. This is a team that we would have struggled against last year slightly in terms of possession, chances. Already 5 minutes in, we're 1 up. That starts to tell you how well we've begun to strengthen this squad. A kick-off highlight straight away. Now, what we have got in the squad is we are highest in the league in terms of stamina, and that plays well into our pressing. That was a terrible chance, that. Terrible effort. It plays well into our pressing mentality and the tactic. Interestingly enough, even though we're literally throwing goals in, we won the first game 8-0, finishing is apparently not our strongest point, which I'm surprised about. Great cross into Mather. Dinks it to the back post and just over the keeper. Momentum is all in our favour. Again, so far, clearly we're top of the league. We're top before we came in. We're playing ahead. We've played 1 more game than most. I think 2 more than some. Because we've had to have our games rearranged because of the UEFA Conference League fixtures that we're in. I think what it's looking like is rather than delay them, we've actually started to play them ahead. Right, Simpson Pussy plays into midfield to Mabea to Oderindi. Oderindi's been really solid. He's always solid, but I'm glad that we've got someone in to test him for his place at fullback now, which is good, especially if we start to scrutinise some training performances. Good switch out to Yusuf, who drags it into Osadebe. Osadebe tries to head it towards and over the keeper and fails pretty miserably. There's not a lot going on here, really. We're dominating this game. As you can see, we're dominating the highlights. It's always about the guys in red, not the guys in blue. Can you see us playing a little bit differently so far this season? The ball seems to be going, not more direct, cleaner, but shorter. That's because we have also got the highest technical ability from a technique standpoint in the league as well. Maybe that's got something to play into it. I don't know. Let me know in the comments. Again, another chance that Osadebe should have scored. What I do fear is that if that was God Bless Akpos on the game on the pitch, we'd have at least another goal now from probably 1 of 2 of them chances that Osadebe's had so far. So, there's Scanlon, and good save from the keeper actually. Scanlon's been a bit of an unsung hero. I didn't realise how good he was. I just thought, let's put an offer in, see if we get him. We could do with some cover in the camp position. I was a little bit wedded to Mather. Again, I've got a soft spot for him, being a little Scholes ginger wannabe. Scholes my favourite player, but it's actually working out quite well so far. Scanlon comes in and cuts onto his left foot, bangs it top bags. That is a really good goal. As I was saying though, Scanlon, I was a little bit like, I need Mather in the team. Playing Mather as an inside forward out left is probably a really good thing for us. Still get him in the team, and I'm getting the best out of this guy. And what a finish that was. Keeper was a little bit crap there, but never mind. We're 2 up. And we're on the corner as well. Yusuf. Is he going to take it to this front post position? Here he is. Simpson Pussy rises, misses, but Mazza scoops the ball, drags it back to Oderendi. And Oderendi finally. Oh no, it's Oderendi the right back. I keep getting confused with the Osadebi. Oderendi, the goal scoring fullback who scored a lot last year, and he's now got his. Did that say his first for the season? I think it was. Probably is. We can check later. But yep, comfortably winning this game. Again, like I mentioned last year, this might have been a fixture that we could have struggled in. I do remember St. Joseph's being a little bit of a thorn in our side over the past 2 years. They're definitely no thorn this year. We are all over them. And again, another kick-off highlight, which is strange. But Mather seizes the opportunity right here. Is he going to slide on the deck? He does, and I tell you what, that was a gift for Gift. He couldn't miss that, could he? He's missed a couple of decent chances so far. He cannot miss that one. It's 4-0 up. It's not even half-time. Something tells me this season's going to be a little bit of a walk in the Gibraltar Park. What about you? You can't miss that. I mean, I think I'd score that on my knees, on my back, maybe backwards, I don't know. It was such an easy chance. A gift for Gift, like I say. That's a little bit of a pun there for you. Right, Oderendi throws in to Scanlon. Scanlon plays it back. Mabea comfortably just keeping the ball and just playing it around to Simpson Pussy. He plays it to Victor. Victor will probably go out left. Doesn't, goes inside. Nice. To Mather. Mather runs it inside again. He's going to play it out to the right on the deck, and Oderendi gets his second of the game. Osadebi, sorry. I keep getting them mixed up. But it's offside. Probably shouldn't have been offside there, really. Could have tapered his run a little bit. Great ball from Mather out to Young. But that was such a good ball. I'll tell you what, that was tight. It looks tighter in the match engine than the lines tend to show. But anyhow, what a dominating first half. 7 shots on target, an XG of nearly 2.5, and 4-0 up. Let's have a look for the second half. Right, so we've had a lot of shots on target. We're happy. Keep it up. Let's keep going. Kick-off highlight straight away. Surely we can't get a 5th straight from kick-off. This is definitely showing the signs of how improved this squad is this year. Young's on the attack. Is he going to drill it on the floor? And he is. And also Davey gets his second of the game. He has to start finishing. He is doing. He's on 7 for the season. And that's 5-0 up. 15 or so seconds into the second half. We really could go on a rampant league run this year. We're on the rampage here. And look at the fitness of the guys as well, condition-wise. We're the ones doing all the running with the ball. That does show you, though, right? That, I mean, I didn't know their condition before the game, but Scanlon crosses it in, and good chance off the bar, off the post. Condition. I mean, look, mindset-wise, they're just chasing shadows at the moment. And I don't know, does that affect condition or not? I'm not quite sure. Does condition work better when you've got the ball versus not? If anyone knows, drop it in the comments. Right, let's make a couple of substitutions, shall we? So we've got Ronell Young, who's on a 9.2, who deserves a yellow card. Fair. Let's take him off just in case he gets banned. Let's put on Byron Morton. I'm also going to change... let's change Sam Mather, give him a rest for Mitchell... I can't say his name. Is it Mitchell Waseni? Am I saying it? I don't know. Not sure. Let's take him off for that and keep that as it is right now. Hopefully we can try and get Gift Osadebi his hat-trick today. Actually, this is a transfer that I don't think we've shown in the lead up before. A Chilean right winger. He can play left as well. We're going to play him left today, but he's half decent. He played well in the pre-season, played well in the qualifiers. Yet to do his bits in the league or competitive games this year. Let's make another sub, shall we? Let's bring on him just to sit in there and replace one of these loanees. But yeah, he's yet to have a major impact. I could play him out in the next game. He's a decent player, actually. Maybe we start him right winger in the next game. 5-0 convincing win. I mean, we were never not going to win that game, right? It was a walk in the park. That last league win sees us on top of the Gibraltar League. 4 games played, 4-1, 15 goals scored. In fact, have I conceded a goal? I actually don't think I have. Yeah, 1 goal actually. 16 goals scored, 1 goal conceded, but a full 12 points on the board so far. And we go into the next game now, which is against Bran in the Europa Conference League. First off, though, a couple of things to look at. First of all, also Davey wins Player of the Month, which is brilliant for his 3 appearances, 5 goals, and an average rating of 8.5, which is mint. And I get Manager of the Month again. You heard me moan about this last season, but team cohesion is now really good. I struggled to do anything with this because of the lack of games that I was playing and the lack of training that we can have because we're semi-pro, but maybe because of the amount of games we've played so far this year, given the amount of qualifiers we've played, that's kind of helping. It must be, right? It's obviously leading to better results on the pitch, especially from a tactic standpoint. As you can see here, the right and left have got the magical green lines now, so we're starting to get some really good on-field relationships growing, which only helps results and performances. Some changes for the game then against Bran. Some of them are forced actually. So we can't play Ronald Young or James Scanlon because we couldn't get them into the squad. I do need a certain number of homegrown players in the Europa Conference or the UEFA squad registrations due to rules, and I haven't quite got that at the club. Therefore, I've had to sacrifice some spots in order to actually field a full squad. So today's lineup is going to be a little bit different. I don't expect we're going to go far in this Conference League. We can be as competitive as we can, but it's a good chance to give some solid players a run out. So, starting lineup is Kinder Masei in net. He's the same back four of Odorendi, Simpson Pusi, Victor and Yusuf. A same midfield pairing of Fitzgerald and Mabea. A slightly different front four. So the wide right, we've now got Byron Morton playing today, who's got a great bit of acceleration, probably the fastest accelerations attribute in the squad, and a good all-round sort of winger, really. Good at crossing, good first touch, great technique, and he's fast. So hopefully we can get a bit out of him today. As I've mentioned before, Mitchell Waseni, that's how you say his name, just as good. He also plays right hand side, but we're going to stick him out left today, where he can probably be equally as good, especially given that his left foot is the strongest naturally. On the number 10 position, we're putting Mavler in there, out from the left into the number 10, because in place of James Scanlon. And then also we're going to start with God bless Akpos up front. I know that last game through, Gift Osadebe scored 2 goals, and I've promised him some starts, but we need to start. He needs to start. He scored 3 hat-tricks in these qualifiers. He's got to make a starting position right here in this first game. So a couple of the guys that have came in today are missing match sharpness. So with a little bit of luck, this run out here is going to start to improve that for us. What's really interesting? Oh, you start to hear the Conference League music. Nice. That's something that the Gibraltar fans aren't used to over here, hearing European tunes blasting out of the stadium. What is nice, look at the amount of seats that are filled behind us. You'll see it in the match engine in a moment. What's really strange is normally we see, about 12 people sat in them seats? Not now. There's quite a few here. I'll tell you what, I'm hesitant to say there probably could be a few, maybe 500 or 600 people here today. Normally we're touching, 330, 350 max? 1,321. Wow. We're going to start to get some good gate receipt money here. Fair play. Looks like the Gibraltar fans really do want to see some European football. I'm not sure how long it'll last, mind, because this team is far better than us. I think reputation-wise, they're bigger. Technical ability-wise, I'm not quite sure. I've had a little bit of a dab through the squads. There are some key players here. Bran are actually in the thick end of their league season. I think they might be coming towards the end. For example, as a player they've got on the pitch, they've got a player in their squad. I think they're on about 20 goals this year so far. That's a bit strange. Look down, they played 30 odd games, so I think they're towards the end of their season in, is it the Swedish? Let's have a look. Is it the Swedish division? It could be. Is it the Swedish? Norwegian Premier Division, and they've played a good bulk of games here, as you can see, this season. So, they're in the thick of it. Hopefully they're a bit jaded, so we can try and, take benefit of that. In actual fact, we've had the early shot. Well, they've had a shot on target now. I was going to say we've had the earlier shot on target there, but there's not much to separate these two teams at this point. It looks like a really boring game. A couple of highlights, a couple of very near chances. Nothing that... that was an effort. Nothing to sort of write home about, really. Just a really boring Conference League fixture, which I hope we can change a little bit. I'm happy with the performance. We've not had any chances, but yeah, I'll go with that because we've not conceded. We don't look like the worst team. We've seen more of them on highlights. They've had more possession. They've done more with the ball. But in theory, they should be doing that. So it's not actually a really bad performance so far. We're not getting much in terms of match ratings out of the guys. So we could just mix it up a little bit in a moment. Something tells me this Byron Morton chap tends to pick up quite a few bookings. Maybe that's just a bit of recency bias popping in, but I'm sure I've seen him pick up far more bookings than many others. Right, let's have a little look at playing. I'm going to switch these two out. Get Giftos Adebi on, and I'm going to bring Gabriel Biancheri on for his, not his Conference League debut because he played in the qualifiers, but it's definitely his YouTube debut. You've not seen him yet, and he's potentially, well, apparently one of the better players at the club, but I'm just yet to see it in any of the games. This has been a bit of drab affair. Right, Helen's at centre back. He dings it into his right. Is it his right back and right winger? Who knows? But Helen's on the ball again. He's driving down his right, our left. Hopefully we can win this back and stop the counter attack. And that was poor goalkeeping. That really poor goalkeeping. I do think Kingdom could have done a little bit more about that. I mean, that was a decent ball in midfield. Good little first touch to Bloomberg, and Bloomberg, yeah, keeper could have done a lot more with that. Never mind. It's 1-0 down. Let's encourage. Do we need to change anything? What could we change here, possibly? I don't think there's much else we could do, really. I don't feel like making wholesale changes for the sake of it, but let's do it anyway, just to give people a run out. Try and keep people a little bit fresh. I don't like doing this all the time, but it's just something that I think if we can give people a run out, change things a little bit, that'll do. We've got 2 minutes plus added time left. It's been a really poor game. Sam Mav has been terrible today. Worst player on the pitch. I know he's tired, but yeah, not a great start in the Europa Conference League proper, unfortunately. We're underdogs, but unfortunately, as the headline says, a youthful Man 62 did come unstuck. And whilst we weren't really in control of the game as much, or as such, we did okay. We had one less shot on target than them. We actually just, by looking at numbers, we weren't just hoping for the best and shooting at any opportunity. They had far more shots than us, but only one more on target. Possession-wise, clearly they had a lot more. But all in all, I can't be too disheartened with the fact that a team that probably should be beating us, they've got far more reputation. They've got a value of £55 million. I mean, what are we worth? I bet we're worth about £1 million. 223 grand. Christ, we're like the average UK household, let alone a bloody football club. So we can't be too disheartened by that. Hopefully, we can learn a lot from this. Maybe amend some instructions to take into some more of these European games. See if we can pick some points up along the way. And if you've liked that and you want to follow on for more of our European and Gibraltar journeys, please drop me a subscribe, like if you've liked it, drop me a comment about anything you want to see next, and thank you very much for watching.